Six and 3/4. Is that you? What should that be? It's all this stuff. Oh, that's it.
Stand up. We'll all be walking across the stage. I will be there at the bottom of the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the processional.
standing while Ms. Kristen Robinson sings the national anthem.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment in silence to be thankful for the success of these graduates, to appreciate the help these graduates have received from their friends and families, and to remember all those who cannot be with us for this evening's celebration. Good evening, graduates, families and friends, faculty, staff, and honored guests. My name is Maggie Murdoch, and I'm an Associate Provost for Academic Affairs and Dean of the University of Wyoming Outreach School. It is my pleasure to welcome you this evening to this celebration of the achievement of these graduates. I want to thank everyone for coming this evening. In a moment, I will introduce the members of the stage party and the special guests that we have with us in the audience tonight. But right now, I'd like to recognize the families and friends of these graduates. We all know that we do not accomplish anything on our own. Families and friends have helped these graduates in so many ways, not the least of which was communicating so clearly the value of an education. For education has the ability to make us better persons and better members of our communities. And education is essential to fashioning the effective citizens required in a democracy. But I know that the families and friends of these graduates have helped in many other material and immediate ways. I'm guessing that you encouraged these graduates when they were frustrated and ready to give up. You comforted them in their sorrows and their distress. You shared their triumphs, whether small or large. You watched their children when they attended class or did their homework. You brought them food when the money ran out before the month did, and you shared the costs of their education. You gave these graduates a platform on which to follow their educational dreams. You steadied them when they stumbled, and you led them when they wandered. I'd like to ask the families and friends of the graduates to please stand. All the children, spouses, parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, and friends of these graduates, please stand. Thank you all for being with us tonight. Graduates, this night is yours, and the celebration of your achievements is central, but I'm going to say just a couple of words while I'm already up here. Learning, especially university learning, is essential for the health and growth of our societies and economies. To quote Nannerl Kahan from her book, Higher Ground, Ethics and Leadership in the Modern University, she says in a university, people come together to converse and argue, to stimulate and inspire each other, to create an environment of discourse and dialogue essential to the very creation of knowledge. And all that is really needed for education is a great teacher and a ready student. The faculty of the University of Wyoming, and especially those who have been your teachers in your courses at the UWCC Center, are dedicated to teaching and learning. So we know that you've had great teachers. Many of them are award winners. And your presence here tonight, graduates, testifies to you being willing students, willing to persevere, open to new ideas, and not afraid of change. You spent time in class listening, conversing, and arguing. You have stimulated and inspired one another, both students and faculty. And you have all taken a journey to be here this evening. For some, the road was, relatively speaking, smooth, and the journey was, relatively speaking, short. For others, the road was full of forks and turns, hills and obstacles, and the journey was long and daunting. But no matter your road, you have faced up to challenges of learning and challenges of life. Some of you may have lived a good deal of life before undertaking your university education, and some of you will take the opportunity for more education after receiving your degrees this evening. The fact is, you have each had your own journey, though you have shared the road with many. Likewise, you each have had your own reasons for pursuing your university education, whether on the undergraduate or graduate level. Sometimes in universities, we like to talk about the monetary value of having a university degree. And the data show that those with university degrees do earn more. We also like to emphasize that those with university degrees are more active in their communities and more open to diversity, important attributes in a representative democracy based in an immigrant culture. And we know that the education of parents is an essential predictor of the learning success of our children. One of the things we don't talk about much is how a university education helps us know and define ourselves. There's a popular saying attributed to Robin Williams, if you remember the 60s, you weren't there. That might be only funny for people who are as old as I am. But to paraphrase that a bit in my experience, and after working with hundreds of students and spending lots of years being a student myself, I believe that if you don't know more about yourself now, after your long learning journey, you really weren't paying attention in college. How many of you have wondered along the way if the effort, the money, and the stress were really worth it? How many of you? You really wonder? How many of you have had at least one dark, middle-of-the-night session full of self-doubt? Asking yourself, what in the heck am I doing? Any of you? Yeah, I'm seeing some of you. Shake your heads, right? If you have faced these gut-wrenching, fundamental questions, you have allowed the transformative power of the acquisition of new knowledge make you stronger, more confident, and more capable. You have a better idea of the meaning of the world around you, of the value of the individual in the community, and of your own purpose and goals. In short, you have come to better know yourself, and by doing so, you will have discovered the ability, the strength, and the courage to make a difference in the world around you. As Lao Tzu observed in the Tao Te Ching, in verse 33 entitled, Who Are You? If you understand others, you are astute. If you understand yourself, you are insightful. If you master others, you are uncommonly forceful. If you master yourself, you have uncommon inner strength. If you know when you have enough, you are wealthy. If you carry your intentions to completion, you are resolute. If you find your roots and nourish them, you will know longevity. If you live a long and creative life, you will leave an eternal legacy. Students, soon graduates of the University of Wyoming, I wish you a long and creative life. I know that in your own way, you will each make a difference, and you will each leave a legacy. But enough from me. I think we're ready to get on with graduation. Are you ready? Yeah, all right. Just as you've been helped on your academic journey by your families and friends, many people at Casper College, in Casper and across Wyoming and at the University of Wyoming, people who you may never know, have helped you on your journey. Let me introduce you to some individuals who have come tonight to help recognize and celebrate your accomplishments. Some of these people are on the stage and some are in the audience. From Casper College, we have 2 board members. Ms. Kathy Dolan on the stage. And Mr. Charlie Chapin, who's in the audience. From the Casper College Administration, Dr. Walt Nolte, who will also be our guest speaker this evening. And Dr. Carmen Simone, who's Vice President of Academic Affairs at Casper College. From the University of Wyoming Board of Trustees, Ms. Ann Michelle. From the UW Administration, Dr. Myron Allen, Provost for Academic Affairs. Dr. Bill Gurn, Vice President for Research and Economic Development. Dr. Doug Benzant, Vice President for Administration. Our Mace Bearer this evening is Dr. Scott Seville, Associate Dean of the Outreach School and Associate Professor, full Professor now, of Zoology and Physiology. We have representatives from the college deans, and we have college deans here, and deans representatives, and so why don't I read them all and then you can clap at the end. How's that? So Dr. Brent Pickett, Associate Dean of the Outreach School and Director of the UWCC Center. Dr. Oliver Walter, Dean, UW College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Penny Ainsworth, Associate Dean, UW College of Business. Dr. Judy Ellsworth, Associate Dean, UW College of Education. Dr. Suzanne Young, Associate Dean, UW College of Education. Dr. Joe Steiner, Dean, UW College of Health Sciences. And Dr. Steve Easton, Dean, UW College of Law. Thank you all for being here. With us down here in the audience and the floor, we have other representatives from UWCC and from the colleges at the University of Wyoming. So I'll read these names, and again, you can clap at the end, and then we can get on with it. Dr. Gracie Lawson Borders, Associate Dean, UW College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Reed Skull, Associate Dean and Director, UW Outreach Credit Programs. Dr. Tammy Agard, UW Registrar. In the audience, Ms. Maggie Farrell, Dean of the University Libraries. We also have staff here, Ms. Kristen Isaac, Office Assistant from the UW Registrar's Office, also in our audience. Jeff McDonald, who's the Marketing Manager for the UW Outreach School. Judy Atencio, who's the Program Manager for Outreach Credit Programs. Mary Young, who you will see with a video camera here she's producer director from UW Outreach Technology Services, UWTV. Ms. Sarah Brown Matthews is a major gift manager for Wyoming Public Radio. And Jackie Shatowski, from the Department of Professional Studies, and Cody Connor from Outreach Credit Programs. So ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to introduce to you Dr. Pickett, who is Associate Dean of the Outreach School and Director of the UWCC Center.
As the Associate Dean and Director of the University of Wyoming Casper College Center, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our commencement ceremony. The UWCC Center has been in existence for 35 years, and more than 3,000 UW students have graduated from UWCC. We are proud of our graduates and their accomplishments, including those seated before us now. Graduates, you are about to take on new roles and responsibilities, such as teacher, social worker, or graduate student. As you do, I hope you will also be mindful of another duty that you have, that of responsible citizenship. This is a duty we all share. We are fortunate to live under a system of representative government that is sustained, in the end, by citizens who are committed to informed participation and who are protective of their rights and freedoms and respect their duties. It is easy to get discouraged about the political process, but apathy is a dead end. Moreover, our civic duties do not end with the casting of a vote. I urge you to give your time and energy to the groups and institutions that make our neighborhoods good places to live. Be a volunteer at the library. Serve on the board of a nonprofit group. It is hard to balance work and life. I know that UWCC students in particular realize this, yet it is still important for each of us to give back to our communities. I know that many of you did community service as part of your work on student groups, such as the Roundtable Honor Society or the Association of Student Social Workers, or as a condition for receiving the Myra Fox Skelton Award or our Leadership Scholarship. My hope is that your service does not end here, at graduation. Instead, my hope, or speaking as a member of the UW faculty, our hope, is that you'll learn much at UW, and that you'll bring that knowledge and experience to your community, in part through volunteer work and civic engagement. Our graduates have achieved so much, but they did not do this alone. Along the way, they have the support and encouragement of a talented and award-winning group of faculty. Our faculty not only teach our students, they too contribute to our community through volunteer work and civic engagement. Will the UWCC faculty please rise? One distinguished faculty member of ours, Carol Tarantola, senior lecturer in communication and journalism, is retiring after 30 years with UW, with many of those years at UWCC. I asked her to come forward to receive a plaque as a small gesture of our appreciation for all of her years of excellent teaching and service to the university. UW faculty in Laramie also come to UWCC to teach courses or otherwise support the university's mission in central Wyoming. This support is crucial to UWCC's success. It broadens the range of faculty from which our students can choose to take courses. They deliver lectures in our presidential and faculty senate speaker series. They advise us in our collaboration with the school district and student residency supervision, or in social work practicums. Will UW faculty and department chairpersons from Laramie please rise? Another group of persons at UWCC also provides invaluable help through their assistance with advising, financial aid, and simple moral support. It is my genuine pleasure to work with the UWCC staff day after day, for they are bright, dedicated, and very fun. I adore my staff, actually. I think they're great. They too are an award-winning group. For Jim Logue, received this year's UW Off-Campus Staff Person recognition. Will the UWCC staff and their colleagues in the Outreach School please rise? UWCC is possible only through a close working relationship with our colleagues and friends at Casper College. The university and a quality community college work together to provide university degrees off the main campus, and the partnership that UWCC embodies is valuable and surprisingly rare in higher education. We at the university recognize and thank Casper College for this partnership. Will Casper College faculty, administrators, staff, and board members please rise? There are many in our community who go above and beyond to support our educational mission at UWCC. Sometimes they do this through their work in the state legislature, or by contributing to our scholarships, or through their service on boards for foundations or nonprofit agencies. I want to thank all those who contributed to the university's work in Central Wyoming, including those UWCC students who have volunteered to serve as ushers this evening. Each year, the UWCC faculty selects a part-time faculty member to recognize for excellence in teaching. The award recipient this year is Ms. Bethany Cutts, part-time faculty in social work. Bethany, please come accept your award. And actually, I don't know if Bethany knows this, but along with that recognition comes a $500 stipend that she can use for professional development purposes or to purchase classroom equipment. I am pleased to introduce Dr. Roseanne Crossen, Assistant Lecturer in the Department of Educational Studies at the University of Wyoming Casper College Center. Dr. Crossen will offer reflections on behalf of the faculty at UWCC. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Rose Crossen.
Thank you, Dr. Pickett. Good evening, honored graduates, trustees, administrators, faculty, and staff from the University of Wyoming and Casper College. And a special welcome to the families and friends of our graduates. I am truly grateful to be here this evening to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates and to speak on behalf of the faculty. Graduates, as your teachers, we hope we have inspired you to discover and develop your talents. Thinking back over your education, you probably had a teacher who, in some way, has had a positive impact on your life. Perhaps it is one of the faculty members here this evening, or a teacher you've had in high school, or even grammar school. I want to share with you how one of my teachers influenced my life and the message that she gave me that has value for all of our lives. I brought with me this evening, for show and tell, my 8th grade graduation autograph book from 1974. It contains good luck messages from my classmates and inspirational words from my grammar school teachers. Of these, one message has had an immense impact on my attitude for my life. This message was written by my junior high English teacher, Miss Mary O'Connor. Miss O'Connor was an extremely demanding teacher with a caring attitude for all of her students. She expected each of us to do our best, always. She encouraged us to do the work necessary to achieve this goal. She insisted we roll up our sleeves, get our hands dirty, in order to help others. She was encouraging us, in her own way, to put forth our best effort through hard work and diligence. To use our skills and talents, no matter what they might be, nurture and grow these into something of value that would ultimately benefit the lives of those around us. This is what she wrote. Roseanne, to be able to walk into a room and brighten it by your happiness is a great gift, and I hope you never lose it. We all need you. I believe her message, as simple as it may seem, carries great meaning for all of us. She reminds us it is important to realize and remember we all have great gifts. And those around you need you to share your gifts with them. And I would add, to treasure your gifts, for these are a precious part of who you are. So, to you, our honored graduates, in the spirit of Miss O'Connor's message, we, as your teachers, know each of you has a great gift. We have observed your talents that have included being advocates for others, excellent communicators, writers, creative artists, caring health professionals, politicians, scientists, researchers, administrators, educators, and most of all, outstanding learners. And we hope you never lose your gifts. We all need you. You'll have many wonderful opportunities to use and share your gifts to make your lives and the lives of the people around you special. How you choose to do this is up to you. Graduates, would you please stand? Would everyone please join me in congratulating the class of 2011? Thank you.
I would like to introduce, and graduates, you may be seated now. I would like to introduce Ms. Elizabeth Fauber, who's receiving a bachelor's degree in elementary education through the University of Wyoming Casper College Center. Ms. Fauber was selected by the UWCC faculty to share her reflections with her fellow classmates on this evening, rather than the other evening when I mistakenly introduced her. She also received this year's Sue Jorgensen Excellent Student in Education Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Liz Fauber.
Thank you all for that very warm welcome. I appreciate it. Dr. Pickett, trustees, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you tonight. I am truly honored to be standing before you. I'd like to begin tonight by thanking the administration and the faculty of the university for their hard work and dedication on our behalf. The diversity in their classrooms is not the easiest to deal with. They often have traditional students combined with non-traditional students. This often creates very heated discussions. I know that 2 education professors alone took a sabbatical after our class went through. And there is a 3rd that wishes she were here long enough to take a sabbatical. I can't help but wonder if they took these to research or are they needing a vacation? Whichever the case may be, I'm very thankful for the opportunities that they've all provided for us. To my fellow graduates, here we are. We made it. Now we can sigh that big sigh of relief. Whew. I spent a great deal of time trying to figure out what in the world I could say to you that would be inspiring tonight. I read quote after quote, and none seemed to say what I wanted them to. Writing Dr. Kambutu's 30-page paper was beginning to feel like a cakewalk. So I turned to the experts in my life. I asked several students at Sagewood Elementary what they would want to say to you all. While listening to their answers, I found my inspiration. I only want to share a few of these with you tonight. First, treat your family nicely. They're with you forever. Next, choose your friends wisely. I think we may have said that a time or two as teachers. Be happy in your job and always be honest with it. Be prepared for the changes that will happen to you and keep your confidence no matter what. These are some of the uplifting quotes. However, the next quotes helped me to create my message for you tonight. Always learn new things. And last but not least, get your learning on. This quote was the inspiration that I needed. We are at the end of our degrees tonight, but only the beginning of our education. The diploma that we will receive is an important milestone in our lives and an achievement that will stick with us wherever we go. But we also need to realize that the diploma is only one piece of an even greater puzzle. We can't let our education stop because our schooling has come to an end. Please don't think that I'm discounting what we have accomplished here tonight. This diploma represents our commitment to education, a certificate of achievement that reveals our character is strong enough to see our commitments through. So where do we go from here? Most of us have an idea in our head of where we want to go. Some have jobs waiting for them. Others of us are still in search. Just know that life will throw you a few curveballs. You will make decisions that you hadn't planned on making. There will be mistakes made and failures presented. Don't let them discourage you or break your character. Be flexible and learn from those experiences. Don't let your education stop here tonight with the diploma you receive. Let your successes and your failures be your professors now. Congratulations to all of my fellow graduates. And as our Sagewood first grader would say, get your education on. Thank you.
This is hands down my favorite commencement ceremony of the year. I want to reflect on the joyous nature of the event in a way that you may find counterintuitive at first. Songwriter Robert Hunter has composed some of the most beautiful and enigmatic stanzas of our time. Among his saddest, however, are these. There were days, I know, when all we ever wanted was to learn and love and grow. Once we grew into our shoes, we told them where to go. Walked halfway around the world on promise of the glow. Stood upon a mountaintop. Walked barefoot in the snow. Gave the best we had to give. How much we'll never know. The sadness here lies in one simple observation. All the verbs, except for one, are in the past tense. I'll say more about that one verb shortly. Verb tense aside, the action here is joyous and heroic. Growing into our shoes, telling them where to go, walking halfway around the world, standing on a mountaintop. But the thought that all we ever wanted was to learn and love and grow is the grimmest line of poetry I know. The instant we want more or less than to learn and love and grow is the instant we've untethered ourselves from all that's best about being human. Nothing else that we are capable of doing, amassing fortunes, winning wars, achieving fame, wielding power, is nearly so wonderful as learning, loving, and growing. The one verb that I mentioned, the one that's not in the past tense, is the one that thankfully rings true for all of us. If you give the best you have to give, you will never know how much it was. But others will. Those people are your family members, your friends, your colleagues. It will change the face of Casper College and the UW Casper College Center for the benefit of generations to come. Dr. Nolte earned an associate's degree from Tacoma Community College and a bachelor's and master's degree from the University of Puget Sound. His PhD is from the University of Texas at Austin. Since coming to Casper, he has become a statewide and national leader among community college presidents. He's also a scholar, known to start meetings by talking about the peace treaties of Westphalia. There's a master teacher at work here. If the Holy Roman Empire, the Habsburg Empire, the Dutch Republic, the kingdoms of Spain, France, and Sweden, and the German free imperial cities could find common ground in 1648, Wyoming's educators at all levels can do so in the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce a wonderful colleague, Dr. Walt Nolte.
Dr. Allen, thank you for that great introduction. Oh, some of it was actually true. He did forget to mention that I was president of my 8th grade class 2 years in a row. Stage party, faculty and staff, family and friends, and graduates. I'm going to quote former governor of the state of Wyoming, Mike Sullivan, who said, "A commencement speaker is like a body at an Irish wake. You need one, but you don't expect him to say much." I want to thank Dr. Murdoch, Dr. Pickett, Dr. Allen, Dr. Crossen, and Stephanie for making my commencement speech. As I was listening to their remarks, I was mentally marking off the things that I didn't need to say anymore because they had already said them. I would like to talk a little bit about the partnership with the university. It is a fantastic partnership. As Dr. Allen has mentioned, the scope and quality of the partnership is very unique. It is very strong. It benefits both of our institutions and our community and the state as a whole. And we are building a new building. We affectionately are calling it the UU building. Now that's for University and Student Union, or Student Union and University. Depends on your perspective. It's a 95,000 square foot building and will change the scope of the campus. Let me also just mention that I have 4 college degrees, as Dr. Allen mentioned, and I did not attend one of my commencements. Now it is my favorite day of the year. It is a strong tradition in higher education. So why do we wear these traditional robes and hoods? At one of our other ceremonies earlier this week, or last weekend, we do have a smaller partnership with the University of North Dakota, an occupational therapy program. I wore this traditional hood and gown and cap. And a 5-year-old toddler came up to me and said, "Nice Halloween costume." So why do we wear these? Well, one of the urban legends, if you call this, is from the medieval university, where faculty were not paid by the university. They were paid by students, and at the end of their lecture, they would walk outside the room, stand with their face against the wall, and students would walk by and drop coins in the hood, in the back of their hood. The idea was that students were anonymous, and so if they liked a lecture, they'd drop, or disliked a lecture, they'd drop fewer coins. If they liked the lecture, they'd drop more coins. If they really hated the lecture, they may not drop any coins into the hood. What do you think about that idea? Well, let me tell you that we are building a joint building together. It is an expensive building, about $30 million, and the university is a little short on money. So Dr. Allen, Dr. Murdoch, and Dr. Pickett will be standing over here at the end of the ceremony for you to put coins in there. Okay. I want to talk a little bit, Denise, this evening about first experiences. I'll talk about my first experience at commencement as a college president. I was president of a small college in North Missouri. I asked, for my first time at commencement, I asked the president of a college that we also had a partnership with, Northwest Missouri State University. It wasn't near the scope or the range of the partnership that we had, but I asked him to be our commencement speaker. I made a couple of mistakes. This is first experiences. I forgot to tell him how long. He made 4 really good 10-minute presentations. And then he picked up my notes when he was done. So what did I learn from that? Number 1, I learned 10 minutes, 12 minutes, no more than 15 minutes for commencement speakers. Number 2, I learned to have an extra copy of my notes. And by the way, there are 2 copies of my notes on the stage tonight. Number 3, I learned don't drink a lot of coffee before commencement. You will now have a lot of first experiences. Many of you may be the first in your family to receive a university degree. You may be applying for jobs with this new credential or receiving a promotion. You may be working, and after the night, for the first time, you'll have this credential with your coworkers. And if the democracy is to survive, we need an educated citizenry. Soon, you might have your first experience as a voter with your degree. We all know, and it's been mentioned a couple of times tonight already, how critical the role of higher education is for strong and more vital communities. Now is your chance to gain some new first experiences. But as you think about these, I want you to think a little bit back on your first experiences on your first day as a college student. Were you nervous? Were you confident? Were you wondering about teachers and fellow students? Were you wondering why I decided to do this? Did you have second thoughts? Were you asking yourself, why didn't I start college when I was younger or older, smarter, did not have children or spouses? Some of you were sure you could take on the world. Now, you will have a whole new set of first experiences. Let's talk about a few things as new college graduates. Here are some things to think about that I hope will guide you. We embrace technology, but resist the social changes related to it. We exist in a global economy, but resist the impact of changing world demographics, global competition, and world cultures. There are probably 1 billion PCs in use in the world today. In 1971, there were 2,300 transistors on a PC chip. Today, it's close to 10 million. The shelf life of software is about 6 months. Internet business doubles every 100 days. Nanocomputers of the future will be 1,000 times faster than today's models. Wireless communication will be the dominant force. Data, print, voice, from anywhere to anywhere. Your technical skills or occupational half-life will be obsolete in about 3 years. Hopefully, we've prepared you well enough to relearn the other half every few years. All the technical knowledge we know today will represent only 1% of what is available 50 years from now. You will have micro-careers. I've been lucky. I've had the same career for 33 years, although I've been an administrator at 5 colleges. I used to joke they moved me around a lot in this witness protection program until somebody actually believed it. The population of the world will increase 80 million people per year. The global economy now and in the future will be based on quality of product, variety, customization, speed and convenience, incremental improvements, and flexible technologies. We don't know what all this means. To paraphrase Ben Franklin, it is easy to see the present, but hard to see the future. Your biggest career challenges will be perceptual and psychological, not technical or skill-based. Employers tell us in order of importance that strong communication skills, a positive attitude, a team player approach, flexibility, problem solving, and thinking outside the box are the skills for success on the job. People skills. Employers expect that you have technical skills. They want and hope that you have the soft skills to succeed with them. They want a portfolio of skills. They want employers who credit good work, who take responsibility, who share information and work for consensus with coworkers, who understand that individual success depends on the success of the whole. They want people who focus on the big picture instead of details, who value others' opinions and speak positively about work. These are the skills of today's workforce. These will be the skills of tomorrow's workforce. These are the skills for family, for communities, and our society. As you have your first experience after graduation, how can you enhance your skills and possibilities for success? Well, first of all, have a plan. The great American philosopher Yogi Berra said, if you don't know where you're going, you might wind up someplace else. So know where you want to be personally and professionally. Visit this plan often, if only in your imagination. This will help keep it at the forefront of your actions. This requires a focus on the future. There is no future living in the past. One analogy is we don't drive our cars by looking in the rear view mirrors. You must have a strategy that does not include complacency, that gets you out of your comfort zone. This can be difficult at times. It is easy always to blame a problem or a crisis on others. Government rules, management, incompetency, or society at large. These are crutches that will keep you from accomplishing your plan. Find some people who are really good at what they do and copy them. Or as someone said, concentrate on developing yourself in ways that will bring superior value to the end user. Who is this? It is you. Look for opportunities to make change. They are usually there. Winston Churchill said, never give up, never give in on those causes which are held to be truly important, and have an unconquerable belief that every problem is an inspirational opportunity when pursued in an inspired way. So concentrate on a few things or sharpen your focus. You can't do everything, so figure out what is important, what is best to ignore. In other words, manage your energy levels. Well, you can start this by staying physically fit, physically healthy. Now that you have completed your degree, you should have more time to do this. Ignore the frivolous parts and focus on what is important, especially as it relates to plan. Overcome your own resistance to change. Change is inevitable, except from a vending machine. Change invites us into the unknown and can be frightening and exciting at the same time. We are going to have it whether we want it or not, so embrace change with optimism for new possibilities and opportunities as one of your first experiences. Focus on the concept that our interconnected world rewards those who are skilled in the connection process. Build relationships with peers at work, with your community. Practice and enhance your communication skills. You know, I successfully avoided speech classes for 8 years of college. Now it's what I do pretty consistently. And maybe the fact that I successfully avoided speech classes over 8 years is showing up right now. Find a balance in your life. You will have hard, challenging days, but eventually you must find something that you want to do, especially outside of work. Try to find this on a daily basis to refresh your mind and your spirit. This might be your family, or a hobby, or a volunteer opportunity. Whatever it is, it will help you do a better job on the job. This means you will need to take time off from the job to focus on life. Somebody said, no man or woman has ever said on their deathbed, I wish I had spent more time in the office. You cannot really be first-rate at your job if your work is all you have. Don't ever confuse life with work. What you do off the job will determine how well you do on the job. If you are in a leadership position or aspire to one, know that leadership is dangerous. You are often out in front of the pack with no protection. Effective leadership is about preparing yourself or your organization for an unknown future. You also have to look for trouble. Somebody, again, probably Yogi Berra, said, what I need is an exact list of specific unknown problems we might encounter. Sounds silly, but without problems or issues, about half of your job would be superfluous. If it were not for things that go wrong or difficult people and the problems and unpleasantness of the working day, someone else could be found to do your job for about half the pay. This is especially true for those of us with university education. It takes intelligence, resourcefulness, patience, tact, and courage to meet the troubles of any job. If you would start to look for trouble, learn to handle them with cheer and good judgment rather than frustration, you will get ahead at a surprising rate. It is amazing the number of great jobs available for those who are not afraid of problems. Make stepping stones out of these stumbling blocks. Let's think about a little bit about the difference between victims and leaders. Victims are people that things happen to. Leaders are people that make things happen. You are transmitting energy and enthusiasm, or you are draining energy and enthusiasm. You will have first experiences to set the pace and tone for you and others. As an example, you can set the pace on finding new technologies or better ways to use existing ones. Or you can be committed about meeting customer expectations, about creating opportunities for growth for yourself and others, or about being honest and ethical, about open communications, about quality, or your own confidence, or your own willingness to make mistakes, or about replenishing yourself through relaxation and leading a balanced life. Experience is often learned from making mistakes or failure. After Fred Astaire first screen test, a 1933 memo from an MGM's testing director said, "Can't act, slightly bald, can dance a little." Ray Kroc sold his first hamburger at age 52. Walt Disney was once fired from a newspaper for lacking ideas. Allow yourself to fail. Allow others to fail. You will learn for the next time. The future belongs to those who value high performance, and remember that performance is everything, that have common sense, value people, and remember that failure is an event in life, not who you are. When Babe Ruth was asked about what he thought about when he struck out, he said, "I think about hitting home runs." Colin Powell said, "There is no secret to success. Don't waste time looking for them. Success is the result of perfection, hard work, learning from failure, loyalty to those for whom you work and persist." Above all, in your first experiences after graduation, have passion. What is passion? It's a strong belief or feelings and enthusiasm. Passion is what you are going to need to get to the next level, and this is what you want. Otherwise, why spend as much time, effort, and money for education? I'm going to close by quoting Will Rogers, maybe America's greatest political sage, a little bit like Yogi Berra. A number of good comments by Will Rogers. Some of these are particularly appropriate for those of us in Wyoming. Never slap a man who's chewing tobacco. Never kick a cow chip on a hot day. Never miss a good opportunity to shut up. If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. The quickest way to double your money is to fold it and put it back in your pocket. Good judgment comes from experience, and a lot of that comes from bad judgment. When you are dissatisfied and would like to look back on your youth, think of algebra. Long ago, when men cursed and beat around with sticks, it was called witchcraft. Today it's called golf. As we stand here in front of you with our traditional academic regalia, please know that you've been a big part of our life. We sometimes have a hard time letting you go, much like parents. But like parents, we want the absolute best for you. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you as you help our country grow and prosper. I hope that the experiences we have provided you will last a lifetime. You have awesome potential and are the future stars of tomorrow. And remember, as we look to the future, there is no normal. And as you leave here renewed and energized, may the best of the past be the worst of the future. Congratulations, and we wish you the best.
Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, despite all the ritual, this is a celebration. So as your graduate goes across the stage, please feel free to cheer as loud as you would like. So, we will now confer the degrees. Will all the candidates for the bachelor's degree please rise? Provost Allen, these candidates have completed the requirements for the bachelor's degree. They have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees of the University of Wyoming. They are now presented for the final conferral of their degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Wyoming, I confer upon you the bachelor's degree in course. Congratulations.
Provost Allen, may I present Dr. Oliver Walter, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, who will introduce the degree recipients in the College of Arts and Sciences.
Would the degree recipients from the College of Arts and Sciences please come forward? Nicole Lynn Brown, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Gwen Hickok Richardson, Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice. Mario Alicio Jimenez, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Lori Johnstone, Bachelor of Arts in Social Science. Jana Kaufman, Bachelor of Arts, Criminal Justice. Stephanie Antoinette Lansert, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Andrea Maceo, Bachelor of Arts in Social Science. Caitlin Renee Rhodes, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Coulter Daniel Stroud, Bachelor of Arts, Criminal Justice. Laura Stryker, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Tammy Lynn Bonagrace, Bachelor of Science, Biology. Daniel Ryan Gallegos, Bachelor of Science in Political Science. Kyle McLaughlin, Bachelor of Science in Biology. Sarah Victoria Olson, Bachelor of Science, Biology. Christopher Stone, Bachelor of Science, Biology.
Provost Allen, may I present Dr. Judith Ellsworth, Associate Dean of the College of Education, who will introduce the degree recipients in the College of Education.
Will the degree recipients in the College of Education please come forward? Megan Alleman. Christy Lee Bateman, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Katerina Boresh, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Heather May Booth, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Acacia Boyce, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Mallory Lauren Brockman, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Madeline Marie Schumann, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Katrina May Crossland, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Elizabeth M. Fauber, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Megan Diane Ferguson, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Kendall Kayan Fleechak, Bachelor of Arts, Biological Science Education. Alyssa Karen Gibbons, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Brittany Hickson, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Christine Elizabeth Hoskins, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Melissa Kalhavy, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Catherine Ann Kellick, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Heidi Marie Limmer, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Megan Tiffany Lisco, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Stephanie Joanne Marker, Bachelor of Arts, Biological Science Education. Marissa Metters, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Starla Miller, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Anthony Frank Nichols, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Heather Annette Neesant, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Cynthia Pate, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Rachel Lee Patterson, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Heather Ramey, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Tracy Lynn Rebish, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Anita Catherine Rainemans, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Bridget Rotenhofer, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Jennifer Christine Russell, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Emily Nicole Schultz, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. J.C. Ray Short, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Tracy Anita Smith, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Jamie Marie Summers, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Allison Bond Taylor, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Sarah Carmen Townsend, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education. Stacy Weinrich Rogers, Bachelor of Arts, Elementary Education.
Provost Allen, may I present Dr. Joseph Steiner, Dean of the College of Health Sciences, who will introduce the degree recipients in the College of Health Sciences. Dr. Steiner.
Will the degree recipients in the College of Health Sciences please come forward? Anastasia Helen Baker, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Heather Marie Edwards, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Tony Renee Bolger, Bachelor of Social Work. Stacy Cavender, Bachelor of Social Work. Jessica Corliss, Bachelor of Social Work. Jackie Jo Emerson, Bachelor of Social Work. Roxana Roberts Johnson, Bachelor of Social Work. Sherry Martin, Bachelor of Social Work. Jade McMichael, Bachelor of Social Work. Heather Owens, Bachelor of Social Work. Linda Lee Schultz, Bachelor of Social Work.
Will the bachelor's degree recipients please be seated? Will the candidates for the master's degree please rise? Provost Allen, these candidates have completed the requirements prescribed for the master's degree. They have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees of the University of Wyoming. I present these candidates to you for final conferral of their degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Wyoming, I confer upon you the master's degree in course. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations.
Provost Allen, may I present Dr. Oliver Walter, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, who will introduce the master's degree recipient in the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Walter?
Would the degree recipient from the College of Arts and Sciences please come forward? Elona Gross, Master of Public Administration.
Provost Allen, may I present Dr. Suzanne Young, Associate Dean of the College of Education, who will introduce the master's degree recipients in the College of Education. Dr. Young?
Assisting with the hooding are faculty from Counselor Education from the College of Education. I guess I don't have to ask for the degree recipients to come forward, do I? Here you are. Carrie Corrigan Mackey. Tyranny Nicole Fleek Kinsler. Sean Kobe Store. Samantha Marie Kessler. Chana K. Wichman. Karen L. Harms. Matthew D. Bertagnoli. How'd I do? Carrie Ann McIntyre. Sheila Renee Highsmith. Myra Nancy Judith Cecina Castro Mendoza. Christy J. Carson. Stacy Jo Hansen. William Curtis Heiser. Amanda Labeth Anise. Archie Maurice Petrie III. Deborah Jean Starks. Sarah Elizabeth Taylor. Susan M. Bates. Brittany Nicole Burgee. Dusty P. Tolman. Christina O. Preachin.
Will the master's degree recipients please be seated? Ladies and gentlemen, these are the graduates of 2011. Please help us to congratulate them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all owe tremendous thanks to the people who made this ceremony possible. Please join me in thanking Renee Woodward, Lana Parati, Norma Murphy, Aaron Clark, Diane Davis, Tanya Sell, Jim Logue, Tammy Hanshaw, and Heather Horn-Ramsey. Thank you very much.
Here's a music selection so we can go on to.
We now have a musical selection in celebration.
Climb every mountain, search high and low, follow every byway, every path you know. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow, till you find your dream, a dream that will need all the love you can give every day of your life, for as long as you live. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow, till you find your dream.
A reception honoring the graduates, their families, and guests will convene right behind the stage immediately after the ceremony. We ask you that you please come down the stairs to the arena floor and wait for the graduates to come to the reception area after the recessional. And now we ask the graduates and the stage party to stand for the recessional and for the audience to please remain seated.